wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So look at Sephora being real generous with the events that they're having this later half of the year. If you guys did not know, there's another one coming up. Has it started by the time you guys see this? It might have started by the time you guys see this. But if you did not know, there is a new Sephora fragrance event going on. If you guys want to know more, let's go. So Sephora is having a fragrance for all event from December 13th to December 24th. It is in store and online. It is a one-time use with the code fragrance20. It is all tiers. You have to be a Beauty Insider member, but it's all tiers once you are. And I believe it is only for the US because Canada's gonna have like its own offer going on. Now, you guys know I do like telling y'all about fragrances that the internet hypes up, and it's just giving very much so overhyped. But because this is a good time to make use of this event that they've got going on, you know, maybe a late holiday gift, maybe a gift to yourself, I want to tell you guys about hyped fragrances that are worth picking up. You might want to pick up one of the fragrances I'm about to talk about. So now, because today's video is sponsored by Sephora, they have let me try out some things ahead of time. So I picked up the Forvrmood by Aina. What is this called? What is it called? The actual set is called something. It's like, y'all see the collection, okay? Because I can't see the name. But it's been a minute since I picked up one of Jackie's candles. I always see them online at Sephora, but it's very hard for me to find it in person when I go to Sephora. So it's the holiday season. You know, the packaging is giving holiday. I've only tried what's it called, Left on Red, the purple one, before. Very strong candle. You can smell it outside of the box without even having to light anything. If I could open this. It says open to get lit. Let's do it. These are what it's a mini collection. I feel like she does this like every season, stuff like that. I think the last one I know I've seen the holiday collection before, but I think I saw a spring one as well. But it's a mini collection, mini candles. First of all, they're so cute. You know, one for each room, that type of thing. Now, again, just this being open, I can already smell the candles. I feel like it's giving a little more spice this time around. I have already opened this and smelled the candles. It's giving, but the smell of the box in general, it's definitely a little bit more spicy. This one right here, which is called Melodramatic. Hold on. I don't want to drop it by pulling too hard. As you can see, already lit this one, but this is probably my favorite just because it is the sweetest out of all of them, even though there's still some spice to it. Like I said, like the whole box gives very much so, you know, spicy holiday season, but I prefer sweeter smells just in everything, candles, fragrances, all that stuff. So this one is my favorite, and I feel like it is giving kind of like, you know, like more melodramatic. I feel like a little more, it's like spicy marshmallow. I feel like that's the best way I could describe this one. And then probably holly berry, just for the same reason. They're the ones that are the more, you know, sweet spice to them. The only thing though is I feel like it's a strong scent where the candle is placed. That makes sense? Okay, now moving on to fragrances that I feel, if you see people recommending fragrances online, these are some of the ones that you're going to see the most, but I've tried them out probably because I did see other people hyping them up, and to me, they're worth the hype. First one, this is Replica by the Fireplace. Perfect time of year, and I say this every time that I talk about this fragrance, perfect time of year to spray this fragrance because it just gives everything about this winter season, this holiday season. You know, Fireplace, it's a very common thing that you see being used in promotions and whatnot during this time of year. Again, you know, roasting marshmallows, all that stuff. And it's exactly what this smells like. That is what it smells like to me. So it's got that, you know, sweet undertone to it. Love me a Gourmand fragrance, but, you know, by the Fireplace. So it's also like that kind of like smoky. I guess that's also how I would describe the candles. It's like a smoky sweet though. So this, especially if I use like vanilla lotion, anything like that, just mix it all together. I am going to smell like the perfect smell that you would want if you were going camping this weekend. That's what this always reminds me of. Now, have I ever been camping? No, I have not. But if the occasion ever, I'm prepared. I've got the smell for it. Now this next one definitely went viral. Now this next one definitely started getting more and more hype after everyone was like, that's what Rihanna wears, that's what Rihanna wears. It is Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. I don't know if y'all can see the sides, but I definitely put her to use. Okay, first of all, this mixes really nice with other fragrances. Even though it is a very strong scent on its own. I was just out to eat. She was like, what do you have on? I was like, Love Don't Be Shy. I had mixed it with Hypnotic Poison as well, but like it's a very strong scent in its own, and it still mixes nice with other fragrances. I also have Princess by Kilian, would also recommend that. That's also another hyped fragrance, but I feel like this one lasts longer. Also where Princess has more of like a straight, like just marshmallow scent to it. This is like marshmallow in Fruity Pebbles. It's like a stronger version of Princess. That's how I always look at it. But it's not nauseating to me. I could maybe see how it might be nauseating to other people, but to me, like, again, it's just the right amount. It mixes well with others. It's strong. I can wear it alone. I can wear it with other ones. It's that dented for a reason. Like I said, vanilla is more, you know, my wave. I kind of like those more gourmand fragrances. So let's talk about some of the fragrances that I see recommended the most when people are recommending vanilla scent fragrances that, yeah, it's birthed the hype. The first one, I mean, again, look at it. Look at the dent. And it is Kayali's Vanilla 28. To me, out of everything that I have, and you'll probably see I have a lot of vanilla fragrances, it's like the purest form of vanilla. Like if you were to go open a bottle of vanilla that you use to cook with, bake with, all that stuff, I feel like this is the closest you would get to it smelling like how that actual vanilla in the bottle smells like. Strong, it's long lasting. To me, also mixes well with other fragrances. I feel like, because I put fragrance on in the morning and then at night, in the morning, this Love Don't Be Shy, like one or two of the other ones I'm going to show you, I use every single day. And I really just be bored when I'm looking at my collection sometimes, like, I feel like you and you would smell nice if I mixed you together. Let's try it out. And I feel like this is one fragrance that's always part of that concoction that I come up with, and it never goes, like, I never end up being like, that did not work. I do not like how this smells. This right here, especially if you're like getting into buying more fragrances and stuff like that, I just feel like you can't go wrong with it. Okay, another one that is always recommended when people are recommending vanilla fragrances is the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. I've been making my way through this one. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like this is what you get if you want a vanilla fragrance, but grown. Because you know how some people be like, I don't like that because it's too fruity, it's too sweet, and it's almost childish like, like it's kitty like. Not to say that the other ones I'm recommending are childish like, but when I think of this one specifically, it's like, this is what I want to spray when I want to smell like vanilla, but grown and maybe sexy at the same time. It just has that kind of sweetness to it, but the other notes in the fragrance, it's not as sweet of a fragrance, even though it is a strong, but it's just a weird way of describing it. But this one right here, now I don't really like mixing this one that much with other ones just because I like it like stand alone type fragrance, and it is going to stand alone. It's a strong fragrance, but that's just the vibe that just like, yeah, everyone in the room is gonna be like, who's that? Like, yeah, it's me. Now, I didn't even know that this brand was carried at Sephora. The brand itself had sent me their fragrances, and then I was like, oh, it's available at Sephora. And I feel like you've probably seen it by now because, again, it is a brand that is starting to go around and is becoming more and more talked about because of this bad guy right here. This is Vanilla Sky. By Skylar Clean Beauty. So again, another vanilla fragrance. I feel not as strong of vanilla as the other two that I've shown you, but you definitely still smell vanilla here. But I also feel like, the type of airy that you get with clean scent fragrances, there's enough of that in here that it's a nice like balance out, right? You spray this when you're not trying to do too much. You're not trying to smell too sweet, but you still want some of that vanilla in there. That's when you would spray this one. And when I say clean, I mean, like that fresh, I forgot what notes be more aligned with clean fragrances, but that type of clean, fresh, airy fragrance mixed in with vanilla, so it's a nice balance to each other. That's what this one smells like. And this is the last sweet, yeah, this is the last sweet one that I have, and the other ones were more vanilla sweet. This is more of that juicy type of sweet. When you think sweet fragrances, you know, more on the citrus side, that type of juicy fragrance. This is Burberry Her. At least y'all can see I'll be using the stuff that I'm recommending to you guys. This is another one of those, if it's not Kayali 28, if it's not Love Don't Be Shy, if it's not Hypnotic, then it's gonna be one of these. It's gonna be this one somehow mixed into the concoction of fragrances that I have. I really could have anywhere between like 3, maybe even 4 fragrances on at a time. I don't know. I like mixing stuff and making my own signature scent, right? But this mixes so well with other fragrances. And I mean, even with like other category fragrances. I usually like to stick within the same family, you know. I feel like smelling a little spicy that day, or I feel like smelling, you know, a little sweet that day. I usually mix, you know, vanilla with vanilla. It might be vanilla with a spicy vanilla, but you know, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I usually keep it in that type thing. When I tell you I will mix this one with any of the fragrance families, and it usually ends up working out for me. You know, like I'll mix this with like straight up floral. I mean, this also does have floral, a floral scent to it, or just straight up spice, straight up clean. Even some, like if I feel like it's a little too nauseating, just to like tone it down a little bit. It just mixes well with everything that I spray it with. This could definitely give very much so everyday fragrance, because even though it does have lasting power, you are going to smell it. It's not going to overpower anything. This is another, I wear fragrance to bed. I would wear this to bed because it's not going to give me a headache, anything like that. This, yeah, is, now that I think about it, it probably is my favorite fragrance. I just cannot go wrong with this one. Okay, and the last 2 I have, the fact that they have dents in them should let you know that I really, really like these, because I usually do not like the fragrance families that these scents come from. They are widely talked about online. I saw one catch a stray the other day in a tweet, and again, that's how you know I like it, because I was ready to defend it. Like, wait a minute, don't do that. That is the YSL Libre, but this is intense, the intense version. I do like the original, but I don't know, usually I like the intense versions of fragrances just because, again, intense. It's a little stronger, they usually last a little longer. First of all, I feel like this is unisex. You spray this on a guy and it's gonna smell good. Obviously, I'd be making my way through the bottle, but I typically don't like floral fragrances. So when I saw the internet, like, you know, like this is a floral, I would recommend, I was like, ooh. I don't know about that, but Drea took it to Puerto Rico when we went there, and I smelled it and I was like, ooh, wait a minute. I mean, there are exceptions for everything. This is a real, it's not that, you know, like it smells like a bouquet of flowers, or it smells like you walked into a flower shop. It's an intense, more masculine floral. Maybe that's why I like it, because it's not giving, you know, that like feminine floral types floral. But now that I think about it, the fact that I said, you know, it could be unisex, it does have it is more of that type of floral, that might be why I like it. The things that you come to when you say things out loud. Also, why that this is another, I am more careful with what I mix this with because of how this smells. But I have noticed it does tone down some other fragrances that I think might be a little, okay, it's a little too much vanilla today. I want to balance it out a little bit. Just like a nice power balance between the two. Huh. I didn't realize that. Okay, and the last one I have, now this line of fragrances I'm not really the biggest fan of. I think I've dragged at least 2. In the talking about the ones that are more overhyped, that I don't see where the hype is coming from, but I do like this one from the ones that this line has launched. And again, I'm not usually a floral person, but this is another, but not a, you know, let me tell you what it is first. It is the Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. But again, now that I think about it, it is more of that masculine floral, could probably be unisex, could be worn by anyone, and again kind of balances out some of the other fragrances when I don't want to smell too sweet, too, you know, juicy, or you know, if it's like too airy, because sometimes when it's like too airy of a fragrance, it can get real close to smelling like powder. So when I want to bring some like strong, intense scent back into the concoction that I've made for that day, this is another one that I like to break out for that. And again, now that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense why I like these two when I don't really like floral fragrances. But also like Libre on its own, it's just one is a strong, lasting scent, so you're gonna smell it throughout the entire day. They both smell like what they're described as smelling, like you smell orchid. It is still a floral fragrance, but it's not nauseating to me. It's just the right amounts. Some of the other ones, like the more sweet ones, you can smell other things in them. You might be able to smell that it's also a floral note in there, or you know, clean notes in there, or spice, something like that, right? But I also feel like these two, like, no, they very much give floral family, but I don't know, I like those two. And yeah, y'all, that is it. Those are fragrances that I see hyped up all the time that I would also recommend if you've been thinking of trying, or you don't know where to start and you wanted some recommendations. They get talked about a lot. I see why. I will talk about them a lot as well, and this would be the time for you to do that because you can use the code and get some money off. So all the information that you guys need to know about the event will be in the description down below. Make sure, you know, like I said, last minute gifts for anyone else, maybe a last minute gift for yourself, now would be the time to do that. You can use the whole, you know, same day delivery option that they usually bring back during this time of year, and also you can order online, pick up in store, all those options so you can make it nice, quick and easy, and, you know, have a little treat because this is the time of year to treat yourself and others. So also everything that I mentioned will be linked in the description down below. And yeah, let me know if you plan to pick anything up, because y'all already know I can always circle back. So let me know anything you might be thinking of picking up, anything that you think I need to try. And yeah, make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.